Hey guys, happy Friday! Today is Friday, January 10th, and I am back with more Beatle thingies. Now, how are you guys doing today? I am doing quite wonderful in my part, and I hope you are too because I am back in your computer screen for one more week. Now, topic for today is the perks of being a Beatlemaniac in the 21st century. Let's not waste any time because I have to be somewhere in like 30 minutes, so let's see how this goes. Now, there was a video I talked about how much I really wanted to live in the 60s, you know, the revolution, socially, spiritually, and musically, obviously. And, you know, deep inside of me, I still am intrigued by that thought. Just, it's really awesome. I know that everyone watching understands exactly what I'm talking about. But we have to remember all of the perks we have here today. There's a lot of things that we have here that did not exist in the 60s. For example, the technology. Now, the biggest part of technology in the 60s was definitely the television. And nowadays we know it's pretty much dead media. It's being pretty much lost due to the internet, to YouTube, to Hulu, to Netflix. Stuff like that. You know what I'm talking about. It's your daily vocabulary. Let's not even lie. And via those communities, Beatle communities on Instagram and Facebook and Tumblr and YouTube, there's just tons of ways to express your love for the Beatles and not being judged. There's a lot of people around the world who feel exactly the same way as you. And in the 60s, you wouldn't have known that because you could only talk to your neighbor who liked the Rolling Stones and despised the Beatles because they thought they were too cutesy. You know where this is getting to? I mean, I like the Rolling Stones, don't get me wrong. But we have to remember that we have a way to connect with tons of more people compared to the 60s. Now, also going by the track of technology, during the transition of TV and computer and internet, etc., there was something in the middle called iPod. Now, the iPod, everyone knows what that is. You can hear the music anywhere. I mean, I love vinyls. Who doesn't love vinyls? I have over 71 of them just right here. And it's just a great sound and whatnot, but I can't listen to it in the car. Can't listen to it in the bike. I can't listen to it in the bus. And if I did not have my iPod, I would be forced to talk to this bus buddy who's always sitting right beside me, who I'm officially cooped out. Okay? I can only just go to my little world, listen to my iPod and not talk to anybody and just be happy. It is great. I mean, 60s did not have that perk. They were forced to listen to the radio, and you know, we have to remember the Beatles were not the only thing that were happening in the 60s. And it's just great to have your music literally on your hand instead of here. I love vinyls. Trust me, I love them, but it's a really, really big perk. Now, technology aside, we have to remember that it's been almost 45 years since the Beatles broke up. Yeah, it's been that long. And before that, they were pretty much just considered a band. Regular band. A band that would just fade away in 3 years. Remember those days? They looked like this. Look at this. They're adorable. They had everything a band needed. They needed cute guys, they needed like silly love songs, and yes, I'm aware I've done like 2 Paul McCartney references in just one video, which is great. Silly love songs, they have like happy beats, it's happy songs, they're catchy, it's everything the boy band needs. Now, we all know that by the years, they progressed and actually became really revolutionary. And by then, they became legendary. Today, they're legends, believe it or not. Like 45 years ago, they were not. They were just people. Even with Beatlemaniac, like, oh, it'll fade away. But, you know, they showed them wrong. Sass finger. Which is great because this comes to a lot of perks nowadays. For example, we have a ton of tribute bands. There's a ton locally. Imagine worldwide. It's insane. Just go to, not YouTube, go to Google and just look up Beatle tribute bands and oh my god, there's tons. There's tons. And most of them are really good because they're singing Beatles songs. And it's great. It's so great. You don't really hear about One Direction tribute bands, do you? No. It's amazing. It's this big ass perk that we have as Beatlemaniacs, because a lot of music will not get the same recognition. And with the legendary status, we also even got like a Broadway musical. Remember how that went? The Rain one? It's insane. Okay, if you excuse me, I have to look at the list. La 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 la. La la la. Okay. So, second to last one. Since the Beatles story is officially over, I mean, come on. We know that Paul and Ringo are still alive, but they're not the Beatles anymore. They're their own people now. Due to that, we get the perk of knowing the whole story. In the 60s, they would just see what the media showed them, like, oh, they're always happy, or when they were breaking up, like, oh, they're always sad. But us, we have tons of documentaries on the Beatles, on John Lennon, on Paul McCartney, on George Harrison. We have tons of ways to know the actual story, whether it's book, whether it's DVD, whether it's documentary. We have tons of ways to know the whole story. We know stuff that people in the 60s did not know about. It's, oh my god, it's a great perk. Probably my favorite one. But the last perk that I will talk about is the fact that the Beatles are the only ones who have a fest named after them. Beatle Fest has been going on for, I'm not even sure, more than 30 years for sure, after they got the legendary status and whatnot. And the fest itself is so beautiful. I went there like 2 years ago, and holy schmoly, it was great. It was another way to meet new people. It was another way to share your love without being judged. It's a beautiful thing. A beautiful thing that a lot of other fanboys / fangirls will never understand or ever feel. It's something that we have that no one else does. That's a big perk of being a Beatlemaniac on the 21st century. Now, I will talk slightly about the Beatle Fest, because Beatle Fest is going to be on February 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th on New York City to mark the 50th anniversary when the Beatles landed here in the United States of America. Whew! It'll be a big party. Now, I'm personally trying to go. There's this contest going on, and I'll leave some information below if you want to go for it as well. But let's remember, I'm gonna beat your boy. Or maybe not, actually. As long as they're happy. I don't know. It's a great thing. Beatle Fest. If you have not heard about it, look it up. It's beautiful. Beatle Fest this year in New York City. We'll have Billy J. Kramer. Donovan's gonna be there. There was another artist, a really big artist in the Beatle community who was gonna be there. I forgot. Just look it up. It's a great time. A great time is guaranteed for all is their slogan. Now, that is my video for today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Now, you tell me, what are some perks that you think I didn't mention about being a Beatlemaniac? Comment below. Thank you so much for watching, and see you guys next week. Bye.